let's dive into the topic. Playing small, quieting yourself, imposter syndrome, doubt, all of these things that everybody has to deal with, right? Everybody deals with these things, and that's fine. But for Black people in particular, there are particular historical and social things that play into why these things come up for us and why they can be really hard to break through. And so, honestly, a lot of times the advice that people have around fear and around imposter syndrome and like feel the fear and do it anyway, that it's incomplete. So people like to say, for example, feel the fear and do it anyway. And what I like to say is, first of all, feel the fear, let yourself feel it, and then actually dive into it. Explore where it's coming from. Where did this fear come from? What's the underlying story? What's the message that's really happening several layers underneath that? Because when you understand that, where the fear is actually coming from, then you can figure out how to navigate it. If you don't actually know where it's coming from and you're just feeling it, or you're just on the surface level of diving into it. So fear of failure, for example, that's surface. Failure doesn't mean shit. Right? Failure doesn't mean anything. Like, what does that mean? It's subjective. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of what failure is going to say about you or what it's going to mean for your life. Like, oh no, if I fail, I can't pay my mortgage. I'll be on the street, you know? Or if I fail, it means that I'm actually not intelligent, or I'm not worthy, and that I don't deserve these positive things or something like that. So you have to dig deeper into those stories. And I'm just using fear as an example. Because everything really comes down to it. A lot of things come down to it, but you have to dig deeper in. If you stay on the surface, okay, you feel the fear, you do it anyway. Every single time that same fear comes up, that same thing comes up, and you don't really know how to navigate it. So you're either pushing against it like this, or you're running away from it. So, now, like I said, that was an example, but there's also imposter syndrome, which is a manifestation of fear. Perfectionism, which is a manifestation of fear. And all of these ways that we doubt ourselves, yes, this happens to everybody, but for Black people in particular, we have to deal with all kinds of messages. Hey, lady. We have to deal with all kinds of messages coming at us about our Blackness in particular. Like, as Black people, we are told that we're lazy, that we're less intelligent. We're actually, not necessarily explicitly, but really in a lot of ways, we're told that we are supposed to work and work and work. And I just posted about this. I talked about this in my podcast, but we're not allowed to dream. Like, we're not allowed to dream bigger. So you can even take, this is actually a really good example. Look at the NFL. Okay. And the players who wanted to take a knee, and the players are the ones they make the NFL. They are the NFL, but they are not the ones making the decisions. You got a bunch of white people making decisions for a league that is 80% Black. And when they took a knee, what they basically said was shut up and play and make our money. And that's what the world wants from Black people, is for us to be their workhorses, to work and put our heads down and follow what people tell us to do. And how audacious are we when we actually dream for more, right? Right? It really is so much that we have to overcome. Yes. So we get these messages about how we're supposed to just work, how we have to work really hard to be deserving of joy, to be deserving of pleasure, to be deserving of rest, how we have to, that work twice as hard for half as much. All of these things come at us as Black people, right? And that's just from the world, from society, and that is all based in white supremacy. Okay, the whole NFL, yes, that we're supposed to play. Sorry, I say we because I'm Black. I'm not an NFL player, obviously. But like, you're supposed to play and entertain. They love our entertainment. They love our music. They love our dancing. They love our sports. They love our athletics. But as soon as we want to have a voice about something important, then they tell us to shut up, right? So we got all these things that we see elite athletes being treated this way. How do you think we internalize that? As people who now are seeing this, as Black people, seeing the elite athletes, elite of us being treated that way, then it gives us pause, it gives us doubt.